Hey everybody, just want to go over a few things as we go to drive-through only because it is crazy down here in Warrensburg. So let's talk about things we need to do. If you have an outdoor marquee sign, we want to change that to say drive-through only 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that way they'll drive up, they'll see that message. It'll keep people off your parking lot a little bit. We still had some folks tonight tugging on our door trying to. So outdoor signs, drive-through only 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Hey guys, as well, Michael sent out a memo today for a sign to post on your door, the front door of the restaurant. So we want you to print those, laminate them, and then post them. We will also send you a picture of those that we've got here at Warrensburg. Okay, so tools needed to complete this outdoor drive-through thing. You're gonna need one headset outside, so that order taker will be wearing one. Obviously headsets inside, for sure one on your order taker inside. You'll need clipboards, Post-it notes, and pens for everybody that's going to be outside. So typically you'll have 3 order takers. Tonight we actually did 4 order takers outside, so we needed 4 clipboards. At one point we actually just turned over a dine-in tray and used that to write on. I used that to organize my tickets as the actual order placer from outside. So you can use whatever you want. You need a writing surface. So for those supplies, Joey's going to bring around Post-it notes and clipboards and stuff for you, so you'll have all that stuff, but that's what you'll need to be outside. All right, this is how the outside order taker works. You're going to have at least 3 people out there writing orders. Those people need to be able to write legibly. They need to make sure they get all the information that you need. You will have a chance as the person outside calling in the orders to verify with the guest if you need to, but it speeds things up if you can rattle right through. So things like the burgers being singles, doubles, or triples. Sometimes they're putting cheeseburgers and listing condiments, and I have to ask what size that is. So you want to be very specific with all of that stuff. Anything that they can write on that Post-it note is going to help the order taker who's calling in the order. So very, very specific, all condiments, not leaving porks plain, listing sauces or no sauce for tenders, dressings, no dressings, things like that, all should be on there. The Post-it note also needs to include the type of vehicle, like a white car or a red truck or a purple minivan, or it could happen. So you want to put those on there because you're going to be bringing Post-it notes to the person that's calling in the orders. You've got 3 order takers out there. So at one point tonight, I had 7 Post-it notes on my order, on my tray, waiting for that first order to get completed so I could read it in. So I had to have a way to keep those separate. It couldn't just be random tickets, right? So that's what those identifiers are for. Once you get those tickets, as soon as you finish as an order taker assembling an order on a Post-it note, you take it to the person calling in the orders and it goes on there. I used a dine-in tray, the back of a dine-in tray, so it goes on there. And then you go to the next available car and start taking an order. So if I've got 3 order takers out there and this guy finishes, he's gonna give the note to the order caller inner person and go to the next available car. Same with this guy. He could finish first, give the Post-it note to the order call in person, and go to this car, right? So at some point you might have 5 or 6 cars that have already been, because this first guy's taken a long time, especially down here in Warrensburg with these guests that have never been here. So that's how that works. The person calling in the orders from the outside to the inside. For us, we had a car parked at the speaker so that the headsets could just stay open. If you don't park the car at the speaker, anytime somebody drives across that, it's going to disrupt the communication from my headset outside to my headset inside. So I literally parked it there, put wet floor signs on both sides of that car. We used the outside lane, so we just got cars just passing that and coming around to cash. So I'm calling in orders. There's some video Joey has of that, but you're literally, my headset's open. If Joey was my order taker, she's the one holding the video recorder here, I would just say, Joey, you ready? She'd say yes, and boom, I start. Now I'm reading the orders, right? I just got that ticket probably in the last 5 to 10 seconds, but I've looked at it and I've found my crispy chicken, right, that we always get last. I see a cod, 2 burger baskets, one's got rings and one's got fries. So I'm working around that ticket because I'm going to give us the best chance I got. I'm going to say, hey, I got a crispy chicken in a basket with fries and a drink. I've got a cod in a basket, fries and a drink, a burger with onion rings and a drink, and a burger with fries and a drink, right? Got to list all the condiments and stuff, but look at what we just did there. We gave the kitchen the crispy chicken first, we gave them the cod second, we gave them the burger basket with the onion rings before we gave them the one with the fries. So we just sped the whole process up. It's like the dream orders we wish we always got in the kitchen. Give us the crispy chicken last, which is what always happens. So that's a super important role. That person's going to be reading things like, I've got a double cheeseburger, it's in a basket, mustard and ketchup, the side item is onion rings, the drink is a shake, it's tall, and it's chocolate. And if you do it, think through the register. How do I punch it in? Speak in that order. It's going to speed up your order taker. So Lee Summit, Riley was doing this with me, Haley at Independence. There's several team members that have been able to do it flawlessly. They're literally, by the time you get done, telling you the total. So you can send orders back. You could send an order back every 15 to 20 seconds if we've taken that many. So it's going to fly. So that's kind of the order taking process. Gotcha. I have a pork tenderloin in a basket. It's going to be the works with a small fry and a small Dr. Pepper. All right, some important tips outside for ordering, things that can happen. As you're taking orders and moving to the next available car, what tends to happen is the order taking point just drifts further and further from the actual order taking box or speaker that we normally use. So there are times when your order takers literally need to tell the guest, hey, let's creep up, I'm gonna walk with you, you keep talking to me. And so they're moving, almost left the screen, they're moving with that car, right? Because we gotta keep everybody as crunched up close to the headset person who's near the order speaker, the normal order post, so that you don't have a 50-mile gap. Lee Summit's going to be taking orders on the other side of the shopping center. Independence, you're going to be out in the street by the bank. It just doesn't make sense. So there's the only way to crunch that line is to do what we're calling creeping or crunching it down towards the order person. So you got to get people to move while you talk to them. All right, another important tip is going to be parking cars, because if you get the order taking and the cash part right, you're going to be shooting cars out the other side, and you got to have your kitchen flying. We'll get to that in a minute, but in some cases in our restaurants, we're going to have to be very creative in where we park cars. Here at Warrensburg, we've got a pretty long line. We can get about 8 to 10 cars in single file past our window with an escape hatch. Lee Summit, you might crunch up because you've got your 2 lanes and maybe a third. If things are zany enough, nobody's in your parking lot, so pull the cars all the way forward there and use those parking stalls out there by where Sue normally parks. Leave them empty, you could use them. 64th Street, you may have to have cars pull all the way around and park in front of the building. Be creative. All right, you guys, so inside the drive-thru, when it's busy, you're gonna have 3 people, and it's gonna be important that they're amazing at what they're doing. So your order taker, they've got to be typing in orders. I'm gonna give you 2 baskets, and this is the speed they have to be able to type them in, all right? I've got a crispy chicken, it's in a basket, it's got cheese curds and a large Pepsi. I've got a double cheeseburger, it's mustard and ketchup only, it's in a basket, and it's got a large fry and a medium root beer. And when I say done, that person needs to give me a total. So that's how fast, and it can be done. We've got several people that have done it down here in Warrensburg as we've gone through the first couple weeks, but that's the speed. So make sure that person can go fast, and that what they hear is actually what's on the screen. We're not reading orders back at cash because that bottlenecks what's going on. So cash, no reading back orders when we're doing this. If you're taking orders old-fashioned at the speaker like we normally do, which could happen in the middle of the afternoon, late at night, whatever, still repeat them at the window. But during all this with outside order takers, that cashier has to trade the drinks for payment. So if it's more than 2 drinks, they're just on a tray. Don't ask, just start handing that tray out the window. Otherwise, you've got drinks in there, you're handing them, you're taking back a credit card and you're handing out the other drink or cash or whatever it is, right? That's how we've always done it. So trading drinks for payment has to happen or you'll back up. The other thing, when they turn this way, right, to do the credit card or the cash or whatever, they have to ask the ketchup and salt question or whatever condiment question they've got to ask it while they're doing that. The whole cash process has to take less than 30 seconds. It can be done in 15. I'm not talking line times of recall or any of that. That's all irrelevant now. It's how fast. can I make this transaction happen and get that car moving forward? The third person out there, can you tell I'm excited? I can feel like I'm talking a million miles a minute because I am very excited about this. The third person out there is the drink person, and they probably should wear a headset. If not, they got to stare at the screen, because as drinks are said, they need to be made. Because as fast as that order taker's taking orders, those people are going to be coming around, and right, if we're going to trade drinks for payment, they have to be done. So that person in Warrensburg has been making the drinks and coordinating the numbers with the drinks. So wherever you put all that information, they're together. So when cash turns and they see number 32, whatever drinks are for 32 are sitting right there. So make sure that that happens as well. So that's order taker, got to be an ace. Drink drawer, maybe the weakest person in drive, but still better be pretty good because they got to go quick. And then the cashier has to be somebody who's really fast at what they're doing, and they have to do those key spots of trading drinks for payment and asking that condiment question while they're doing cash. Otherwise, the window spot will mess you up. All right, you guys, we're almost done. We've taken orders outside. We've been at the window, and the last piece that we've got to talk about is the kitchen. Burgers can go out in a minute, right? We all know it. It's not gonna work if your burgers are going out in 2.5 minutes. You're literally gonna have to stop and make a change. So we need aces back there for sure. We got to make sure the grill's gonna go fast. It's only drive. There's only one thing happening on that screen, so they're gonna know exactly what patties and bacon to have down. That part should be easy. It's the smashing and turning has to go fast, and they gotta be great at it. Buns, you're one screen, so it's way easier than what you're used to, but again, they've gotta be listening and dressing those things as fast as possible. The big wild card is fryers. We all know fryers has way more stuff going on over there than they ever have in the past. And how long does it take to make a chicken sandwich, right? Crispies and spicies are 5 minutes. Our order taker's gonna give us a head start, right? They're gonna try as hard as they can to read those first. But you may, it cringes me to say this, I've never said this before, we may have to go up a crispy chicken, right? But what you have to do is keep track of how long it's sitting there. And if it starts to be there for very long at all, we're gonna swap it out and get a new one. Only do that when you're really busy, lunch and dinner, right? Not middle of the afternoon. There have been times tonight at Warrensburg, we did $1,200 in 1 hour in the drive-thru. I don't know how many cars. Anybody know how many cars it was? So we did $1,200. We typically are up a ring and a curd and a crispy, and sometimes a spicy. So I want you to monitor that situation. I'm trusting you're going to make great decisions. None of this works if we start selling garbage food. We've got to sell amazing quality Culver's food, but that fryer station is going to have some coordination, somebody overlooking it. Hopefully it's an ace, right? But whether you're on middle or if you've got a leader that's floating in the kitchen, or here we have scoop, usually be a second middle person, watch that product, keep it going, because they can't go out in 5 minutes. You could easily lock up your whole drive-thru. 3 chickens, boom, we're done. So stay ahead on that stuff. Think about it. You've got to have aces back there, and things got to fly. If you start to realize that every order goes down and you're saying, and the fries are bagging, no, we got to get that stuff moving. If you are constantly waiting on buns, make a change. If it's grill and the burger's going out in 2.5 minutes, figure out a way to make it better so that we can go fast. So aces, fly, have fun, and just have cars fly through the drive-thru so that they know the better we execute this in the first few days, the more they're going to come back throughout this whole craziness. And it's okay to have fun and put pressure on each other. Let's do it. All right, you guys, one more thing. Weather forecast. I see rain coming. It's gonna happen. and it's not going to be optional to just not do this at least during lunch and dinner. So we got to think about that. So what we're going to do is Miss Joey is going to go shopping, and we're going to buy up all the ponchos we can find, and we're going to try for bright colors. The good news is the rain I see in the forecast this week says 71 degrees, so it should be warm, but we got to make sure we keep people dry. Gosh, we'll have to think. We're going to have to be creative because we're using Post-it notes, and it could be raining. So more to come for sure. Step 1, ponchos. I don't know what's step 2, dry erase Post-its. I'm not sure what it'll be, but we'll think of it, right? We'll get it figured out and let you know.